Hey everyone, I'm Lincoln Parks. Welcome to the I'm Local podcast. In a world where big corporations dominate the market, it's easy to forget about the unique and vibrant businesses that make our communities thrive. That's why I created the I'm Local podcast, a podcast dedicated to showcasing the incredible stories and contributions of local businesses just like yours. Each episode, I'll be diving into the heart and soul of a different local business. We'll hear from the passionate entrepreneurs behind the scenes as they share their personal journeys, their business philosophies, and the challenges and triumphs that make ownership so rewarding. Whether you're a longtime resident looking to rediscover the hidden gems in our own backyard, or an aspiring entrepreneur seeking inspiration and guidance, I'm Local is here to connect you with the stories that matter most. So buckle up, get ready to be inspired, and join me as we explore the fascinating world of local businesses on I'm Local. My name is Lincoln Parks, and welcome to the I'm Local podcast. Today, I'm excited to have Dr. Erica McRae from Home Watch Caregivers. And Dr. McRae, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Mr. Parks.
All right, so let's start out with this. How did you get started in the industry that you're in right now?
So I'll take it back to 2024 or 2020, 2020. I'm thinking 2024. We're already
It's all right.
almost there. 2020. So I was working for AT&T / Cricket. I was with them for almost 14 years. I just finished my career with them in October of this year. And I had someone to reach out to me on LinkedIn, and it was a franchise broker. I've never heard of a franchise broker in my life, but they were like, hey, have you ever been interested in owning a franchise? And I was like, how did you know that? Because it was something that I've been thinking about for probably 10 years at that point, and I
Right.
only voiced that to my family. Never, posted it on social media or anything like that. So I was just curious as to see what it was all about. I spoke with this guy initially. We kind of went through, what he does and how he helps you to find the perfect franchise. And then shortly after that, I found out I was pregnant. So I put it on hold. And
Yes.
once I had my baby in 2021, I was like, you know what? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Let me just see what's out there. So I reached back out to the guy, and he basically created a profile for me of my interests. And this business was the first one that he presented to me, and I am a woman of faith. So as he was going through the slides, I just heard God saying, hey, this is the one. Hire your mother-in-law. Mind you, I've never been in home care at all, health care at
Yes.
all. My mother-in-law has
Yes.
been an RN for almost 40 years. So once I got off the phone, I called her, explained to her what the opportunity was. She was very excited. And I told her, I said, we'll go through the discovery phase. And if this is what the business is going to be, then I'll sign on the dotted line. And that's how we ended up here.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, it's something that you said when God speaks, you just listen to
You have
what
to
He's
go
having
for
you
it.
do, and you go for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
see that's one thing that I know with a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses. A lot of people get stuck, right? They get stuck not even starting, because
Yes.
there's so many scary things that they believe, will be hurdles in your way. But you just explain when the call happens, just move forward.
You just have
Something
to
that you
do
got to do.
it. Yeah, and
Man,
it's
that's
been
phenomenal.
very tough. It's been real. It was a tough. I think we're at 16 months right now. It's been challenging, but I know that
Yes.
this is what he said to do. So I'm pushing through, and I know 2024 is going to be very promising for us.
Ah,
We put in the work, so I know that we'll see the benefits of that labor.
that's right. That's right. So you had mentioned, that it's been kind of tough. You're moving through, and that's one thing. A lot of entrepreneurs and what I'm seeing, there's always going to be tough patches, but there's also going to be, like you said, 2024. You're looking forward to that. There's going to be,
Absolutely.
things coming. So what? Give me one hurdle or something that you had to overcome, in the past year that you want to share with those watching and listening.
Yeah, so in my industry, I'll give you two things that I've had to struggle with and overcome. So, in our industry, there are several different methods in which people can pay for services. What I've realized is a lot of seniors cannot afford private pay. Majority
Right.
of my clients right now are private pay, but it's been very, very difficult because again, people can't necessarily afford it. So that was
Right.
one of the challenges that I've had. One of the things that I really want to focus on. So my two target audiences are seniors and veterans. So when I started this journey, I applied to be a contractor for the VA. It took over a year. So I've only been open for 16
Wow,
months and it took over a year just for me to get that. So
man.
that's been that was a challenge, and thank God I
Yes.
got that contract in July. But even from July up until about November is when we got our first VA client, because once you get in the system, you still have to do the work for people to know that you're out there, for the nurses at the
That's right.
VA to become familiar with you, because they're so used to the current people and giving them referrals versus you. So
Right.
all of that was a challenge, but I am seeing and up in that. As far as private pay will be what it is. My focus going into 2024 is really targeting all of the veterans here within our area that need our services. I am going
Right.
to focus more on getting credentialed with more insurance providers, long-term care providers. I am applying for grants for those that can't afford private pay services, or, for those family caregivers that are burned out and need respite care. I applied for a grant in October and I received it. So it's a $5,000 grant. So I have a couple people
Congratulations.
thank you so much. So they'll be getting, some respite care. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, I see the issue. Let me go and
Right.
fix the issue. Let me see what
Right.
insurance is out there. Let me see, who's a veteran. Let me see what grants are out there. And then, private pay will come. You'll always have
Right.
people that can afford it. But for those that can't, I don't want that to be a issue for them not to receive the services that they need because they can't afford it.
Yeah, yeah. That's so important, and I'm glad you got that grant, and it thinks that you're working on towards that. So let me ask you: have you had, or have you realized in the community right now, like any partnerships or anything like that you can maybe partner with other small businesses, entrepreneurs that kind of complement your business?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that we're focusing on in 2024, first and foremost, is partnering with all of the senior centers. Here in Henry County, we have four. So, we're building those partnerships, whether that's giving education to them, doing, seminars, workshops, sponsoring some of their events, just getting the information out there. People don't know what they don't know. So I
Right.
want people to understand what's available, what we offer. And I tell people all the time, I just spoke with someone about 20 minutes ago. He called, had questions about care for his mother. I gave him all of that information. And I said, hey, call me back regardless, whether you can come on with us
That's
or
right.
not. I'd rather your mom get the care that she needs. If that's me referring you to someone else, it doesn't matter. So that for me is
Yes.
very, very important. I also have a friend that I serve on countless organizations with. Her name is Sadiqa Gibson. She has a
Yes.
business called Best Life Golden Years LLC. So we've been doing some partnerships. She's getting ready to do a caregiver event at one of the senior centers in February. And this year we partnered together to do a caregiver appreciation event. So she's always doing different things as well. She does meals that she sends to seniors. So those are some of the partnerships that I'm wanting to create and continue to create going into 2024.
That's important, especially in the community where businesses can come together and partner on different events and really just build those relationships. That's important. So I'm glad
Absolutely.
you mentioned that. Yeah. So what would you say is your mission? What's the mission of your business? Let me interrupt this broadcast to share this information with you. The I'm Local podcast is brought to you by My Local Henry. We Are Henry Magazine and the Henry County Chamber of Commerce. My Local Henry is a local directory in Henry County dedicated to featuring small businesses and showcasing all the latest events in Henry County, Georgia. List your business as a free local listing or upgrade for a featured business listing. Learn more at mylocalhenry.com. The podcast is also brought to you by We Are Henry magazine. Since 2012, We Are Henry has set the standard for excellence as the premier hometown magazine for citizens of our wonderful community. With a vision and a passion to connect family and friends through experiences, We Are Henry's pages are filled with human interest stories, information on local events, dining, and all the happenings that make our county so special. We are dedicated to telling the stories of the great people in Henry County. The more we learn and know about these that live around us, the more we are able to become a tight-knit group of citizens. We are moving and growing together, and our community is our home, and we are Henry. The I'm Local podcast is also brought to you by the Henry County Chamber of Commerce. The Henry County Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the business's climate and making our community the best place to live, work, and play. Founded more than 50 years ago in 1967, your chamber is a highly proactive and visible influence in Henry County and the entire South Metro region. The ultimate task of the chamber is an economic development. Not only do they work to bring new businesses into our rapidly growing county, they also strive to ensure that our existing businesses thrive and that newcomers and visitors recognize what Henry County has to offer. As such, the Convention and Visitors Bureau operates under the umbrella of the chamber. Now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Our mission is to empower the seniors to be as independent as possible. That's one of the things that we see people, the family caregivers get so burned out. They're like, hey, I'm getting ready to send mom to a nursing home, or I'm sending her to assisted living. So that's our goal, is to come in and say, hey, no, mom wants to stay in the home. Let us help you allow her to stay in the home for as long as possible. Some of the clients don't want us to come in because they feel as though their independence will be gone. But we always tell them, hey, we're just here in case you need us. We're here for companionship. We're here if you need us to assist you. But we just want to make sure that you're able to stay here and be comfortable for as long as possible. So that's our mission, making sure that we empower them to have that independence for as long as they can have it.
Man, that's powerful. And look, I could sense the passion just coming through through this interview. So I know I can feel it. So I know that, you are so passionate about this and going out and helping our seniors, and like you say, helping the veterans out there. Have you had any interaction with the veteran support group in McDonough? Okay.
I have. So I partner with the veteran support group. We try to get out like once a week just to let them know what we have. And then I also partner with, I don't know if you know Master Sergeant Baston. She is amazing. So she's, over the Southern Crescent Veteran Services. She lets me know about everything that's going on with the veterans. I was at an event last week with her. The DAV, was the Disabled American Veterans, put on a dinner for those veterans that's in their local chapter. So I was able to be there, speak to people about the services that we offer. So yes, we're definitely partnering with the veteran organizations here within Henry County.
That's awesome. That's phenomenal. Love to hear it. So, okay, in this next segment, this is really just like a rapid fire. We're gonna, just answer a couple of questions, find out a little bit more about you. So, first question is, are there any hidden talents that you have that people don't know about?
Hidden talents. I wouldn't necessarily call them hidden talents, but I would consider myself to be an influencer, women motivator, whatever that is. I have a nonprofit called God's Purpose Over Everything. So mine is this year because God gave me a break to, really focus on the business. But for the previous 4 years, I was hosting a women conference called Women of Purpose. And so my vision for that particular nonprofit is to allow women to grow and understand their purpose in ministry, and their purpose in the marketplace, and kind of merge the two. So that's just something else that I'm extremely passionate about.
Oh, man.
Okay. I also have 5 degrees as of last week.
Oh, awesome. Wow. Okay.
I ended up going back to school to get two master's degrees in seminary. So a master's of divinity and a master's of arts and practical theology. So now I am 5 degrees stronger at this point.
All right, all right. That's why we're calling you Dr. Erica McRae. There you go. Love it, love it. So, okay, in the community, are there any local restaurants, local stores, anything like that you love to go to and frequent?
That is a good question because I'm always trying to find like a new restaurant or something for me and my husband to go to. And I love supporting Black owned businesses. That's just
Yes,
me.
yes.
One of the ones that we like is Fat Boys.
Mm,
That restaurant is really, really good. I love
okay,
their waffle, French toast, their chicken, and they have some really good
okay,
drinks as well. So I would recommend
okay.
Fat Boys.
Okay, I hadn't been there yet, but
You should
I
try
was just
it.
talking. I will. I was just talking to my wife, and I was asking her, okay, what are we gonna do? So that's on the list. That we're gonna add
Yes,
that to the list.
they're really good. They're off of 221.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, so the last question I have for you is, what advice would you give like an entrepreneur, small business owner? You know, they're listening to this podcast or they're watching it and they're seeing this and they're inspired about by your story. What
Yes.
advice could you give them in getting started?
I would definitely say if God gave you the vision, he'll give you the provision. And I
Mm,
say that because it is so many different obstacles and things that you will have to overcome as an entrepreneur. But you always have to remember, he gave me the vision. So he's not going to let me fail, whether that's
that's right.
finances, whether that's resources. And you have to give yourself grace. I am a
Mm,
overachiever. As you can see, I have 5 degrees. So
yes.
for me, starting this journey, I expected it just to flourish right away. So when I opened August of 2022, and by December of that year, I only had 2 clients. I'm like, gosh, like what is going on?
Yeah.
So as I went
Right.
through the ebbs and flows of the business, you always have to encourage yourself and push yourself and know, hey, he gave me this vision, so I have to work the vision. God told me last
Yes.
year that this year would be the hardest year that I have ever experienced, which it was. I was a full-time student, full-time working for AT&T and Cricket, and full-time working a business. 3 kids, a husband, all of these organizations that I'm a part of in the community. I was drowning. But now I see
Yes.
light at the end of the tunnel. I'm done with school. I have my VA credentialing. There's so many different partnerships and things that I established here in 2023 that I'll be able to see the fruit in 2024. So just hang in there.
Yeah.
It's not going to
Yeah.
happen overnight.
That man, that thank you for sharing that because that is going to inspire so many businesses just to see your journey and I appreciate you being vulnerable through that as well because
Absolutely.
that's one thing that sometimes as business owners we don't like to share that information. Everybody wants to see the success and all that, but in order to get to that success, you have to go through some trials and tribulations and you
Absolutely.
laid that out. So I appreciate that. So where can people
Absolutely.
find you? Where can people get in contact with you? What's your availability for them to get in contact with you?
Yes, so we're on all social media outlets. So my personal Facebook is Erica McRae or Instagram at Lady McRae. For our home care business, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, Home Watch Caregivers of McDonough. And if you want to learn more about the services that we offer, you can go to hwcg.com/McDonough. It has all of the services that we provide. And if you want to call us, literally, we are an open book. If you have questions, you want to start services with us, you can call my office administrator at 678-304-6481.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. Guys, I want you to go out and I want you to support this local business. Dr. Erica McRae is doing great things in the community. She is all over the place. I've seen her. I've seen her all over. I've seen her with the Henry County Chamber of Commerce, and she's doing great things in the community. So go out, support her business. And Dr. McRae, thank you for being on today. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Mr. Parks.
Absolutely.